That's how we've been doing it anyway.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Sean and Chris from Cross/.
We're recording a lot of episodes this same
night. Yeah, like
I
said, Batman shirt has been worn a lot. And so it's this awesome Tennessee Smokies hat. Chris doesn't wear anything cool.
I'm wearing something comfortable. That's all that matters.
Alright, anyways, so today we're going to be talking about extra deck and side deck choices and, how they fit the meta and how they matter and all that jazz.
This pretty much goes along with your deck building.
Yep, this is just like a add-on to... This is like extra deck.
This is very important.
Non-main deck building.
But it also kind of helps with the main deck. Like,
yeah.
Depending on what archetype you're using, or the type of format.
How we're using like the teachers.
Yeah.
Keep throwing this little. Alright.
Like throwing hints in there. Like, this will be on the test. Don't forget this word.
Here's an important rule of deck building: run Incept Tomato and everything. No, don't do that. But okay, so we can start with extra deck.
Yeah, definitely extra deck first instead of side deck.
All right, so one important thing that we didn't cover before was like tuners. Tuners are monsters that allow you to make synchros. So like. Noble Knight Withdraw is a level 4 monster, normal effect monster. Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind is a level 3 tuner. So these combined, like say you have these two on the field, you can synchro summon them, send them both to the graveyard to special summon like a Black Rose, which
hold the cards upside down, that way it's not upside down.
Yep,
on camera.
Makes sense. Alright, so like say you want to make Black Rose, you have this and this, you just send these two to the graveyard and then bring this out from your extra deck. And then blow everything up, because that's what Black Rose does.
Yeah, that's just the first level 7 that we pulled out. And tuners are easy to identify, because it says tuner right next to its type.
Which we also covered in a previous video.
So, he's a wing beast, right? Like scale that you're holding up? So yeah, tuner.
Yeah, so I mean, that's just pretty self-explanatory.
Right.
That's pretty much it for tuners. I mean, like, depending on the level, like, say... I have a Diva out, like Diva and Madra. Obviously, that makes a 6 because Diva's a level 2. It just depends on the levels. Every deck had
a lot of tuners also have a lot of different special abilities, which help with your synchro plays. Like Diva, you can special summon a level 3 Sea Serpent.
Yeah,
a level 3 Sea Serpent. So you automatically have a 2 and a 3 on the field, and you can sync for 5 and bring out Catastor.
Yeah, Catastor.
Arminies,
which is the best fucking 5 right now in the game.
Yeah.
Or, Librarian for whatever. Like, maybe you're playing, like, a Quasar build.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Quasar Mermails.
Yeah, Quasar. So there are tuners that rank from 1 till, I think, like, level 5.
Is there a level 5 tuner?
Yeah, it's Ally Mind. It's actually a normal monster. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
I actually got really it was some, like, sacky-ass play that happened to me on dueling that was really weird. This guy brought out, like, a bunch of shit.
Did he do, like, Emerald to bring it back and then sync for something, or what?
I don't remember what the hell he did. He sent it to the graveyard with a vault chain. No, he used like one card that, like, specialed it from the graveyard. You could probably use it dark and just specials one normal monster from the graveyard.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The new Blue Eyes tech runs it.
Oh,
sorry, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so, like I said, tuners run from, like, 1 to 5. And so you can pretty much make any level. Like, synchro monsters go from, like, fucking... I think there's level 2 till level 12. So you can literally make any level synchro other than 1.
Yeah.
And most synchros require 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner. Some might require 2 non-tuners, depending on the level.
And then some also require a specific non-tuner type.
Yeah, like, you can't just use any tuner. Like, say, do you have any specific?
I have the Kyra Curry guy in my binder.
Arcanite.
Oh, Arcanite Magician? You're right.
Yeah, you need Spellcaster.
Alright, there we go.
Yeah, like, Arcanite Magicians, for example, like, you'd have to use, like, maybe Effect Veiler or fucking... What else is there?
Any Spellcaster.
Well, I'm in tuner. Or is it just any tuner?
Yeah, any tuner and any non-spellcaster.
Yeah, non-tuner.
Non-tuner
awesome
spellcaster.
Dark Magician Slave.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, so, like, you'd have to use a spellcaster monster and, like, any tuner. So you could use, like, Gale and then, like, fucking Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer.
Right.
And that would make Arcanine Magician, and he's awesome looking, and he's cool. So
yeah, pay attention when you're picking your extra deck. Pay attention to the specific, if they do have a specific,
like,
what the fucking word? You guys know what I mean.
Requirement.
Thank you.
For tuners,
Jesus Christ.
So like a lot of decks are based around archetype, like Vylons. I mean, most of them are light, thunder, shit like that. And there's a lot of Vylon synchros that you can only use with Vylon tuners and Vylon non-tuners. So that's important. Like there's a lot of Blackwing monsters that you have to use Blackwing tuners for. So shit like that. And then now we're done with pretty much the tuner part and the synchro part. Now we're gonna get into Xyz monsters, which is Xyz monsters. Like for instance, like say I normal summon Madrot. Gawain's effect activates in the hand, which allows him to special summon himself because you control a light type monster. Actually, doesn't he turn into a dark when you summon him?
I don't think so, actually.
No, only when he's got a normal arms effect or equipped. So don't equip that with him. All right, so say this is normal summon. I can special summon Gawain from my hand, and then to Xyz summon, you overlay them, which means you just put them on top of each other. Yeah,
they're legitimately that
and
easy.
then, like, they're both warriors, so, like, specifically, like, you need 2 warriors for him, so that's, archetype based. And then his effect is you can detach 2 to make him 4,000 attack and just beat the shit out of things.
So yeah, Xyz monsters are, like I said, it's really simple. You have 2 level 4s on the field because of your archetype, and you just overlay them, and then you can just bring this straight out from the extra deck.
Yeah.
So it's legitimately that easy.
Yeah, like for instance, Mermails. Let me see Draco real quick.
All right.
Like for instance, Mermails. Like I have.
They're seeing all these fucking expensive ass cards we have laying out here.
Like so say I'm running Title Mermails. So say I have a Title and a Megalo on the field. I could attack, and then during main phase 2, you can overlay them, make Draco sack, and then activate his effect. Get 2 tokens out. Bam, bam. Oh, got teamwork. It's incredible. Alright, so, like, extra deck choices all depend on what kind of archetype you're going to run. Like
if you're running a deck like Mermails, and you have a lot of level 7s, you're going to want your rank 7 Xyz monsters, like Draco Sag, we got Big Eye here, like,
Master of Blades.
Master of Blades. Hierophant of Prophecy, but you're not going to run that in Mermails.
So it's all specific to what kind of archetype you want to run. What your specific choice of deck you want to, maybe use for the meta is.
Mm-hmm. So just pay, again, net decking, it makes things a lot easier.
Got that from Jeremy the Kid 00. He says it all the time. Can't believe I just said that.
So it makes things a lot easier when choosing your extra deck, but at the same time, you might go, hey, there's this one card, his effect seems pretty cool.
Maybe I want to make a deck around him.
Yeah, I think I can find a way to use him, and then you actually end up coming up with a deck that nobody else thought of before.
Yeah, there's always ways, and like,
that's how deck building games are.
Like, people use the word tech. Like, that's a card that, like, not a lot of people are using, but you really like the way it flows in your deck, and maybe you draw it more often than other people do, and, like, you have your own special way of using it. That's, like, your card, not a lot of people use it. That's a tech.
Yeah.
Like, say, I'm teching, fucking Constellar Ombre, or Omega. I don't know why it would be. Like, us, like, so you could use that. In this right here, these are both lights. You bring out Omega. I mean, I don't really know what he does, but let's see what he does. Yeah, not really helpful, because you need a Constellar monster to activate his effect, but say you needed a 2400 monster.
Actually, he can use it on himself. He's Constellar Omega. He can use his effect on himself.
Yeah, so you can, like, say they're going to be like, I'm going to Mirror Force this motherfucker when he brings his card out. Like, no, I'm going to attack you, and I'm going to detach, and then you can't do that. So that's pretty cool.
And then detaching is obviously, like, say you have 2 materials on them, and it requires you to detach one, you just select one and send it to the graveyard. And normally, you want to be smart about which one you detach, because you might have some cards that, like, you want in the graveyard more than others, because, like, say like
for instance, with these 2, like, Title's effect activates, I can use it in the graveyard, I can banish 2 water monsters to special summon him again. So, like, say I make Big Eye, I steal your monster, and then
he's going to want to detach Title over Megalo.
Yeah, because I can get Title back next turn. Megalo, I'd have to draw like a different card, like a gun or a, fucking Sturge to get something back to my hand, just to get him out again. So
right,
Title's a renewable resource that I'd like to have every turn, and if I leave him attached, I don't get the option to bring him out again next turn.
Like a lot of the times, it's not gonna matter which one you detach, but you don't want to overthink it, but at the same time, you want to go like that was a perfect example. Like I want Title in the graveyard, so I'm gonna want to detach Title instead of Megalo.
Yep. So I mean, those little plays are like the things that change games sometimes. Like, not a lot of good play or not a lot of mediocre players are gonna like think about that, and then say like they realize after like shit, if I would have detached this one instead, I'd have a lot more optimum plays I could make.
That's how I learned. I've detached a wrong material a lot, going, oh, it doesn't matter, and then I'm like, shit.
Like
maybe I should have thrown this one in the grave.
Yeah, like Monster Reborn's gone now, but like say before you had like
Reborn in your hand and
no fucking like do you have level 3? Yeah, like say for some reason like these two, like say I'm playing like some Gravekeepers and I'm teching these two in there. Because actually they're pretty good in Gravekeepers. But like say I have these two and I detach Spirit Reaper and then I realize they have like fucking say they have Constellar or Omega. Oh, keep on Omega.
I have no fucking idea.
I don't fucking know either. Alright, they have Omega on the field and say like shit, if I would have detached Spirit Reaper, I could or if I would have detached Gale, I could Monster Reborn Gale.
And then
cut his attack in half because of Gale's special ability.
Or force him to detach.
Yeah. Well, no, that doesn't even matter because he's unaffected by spell and trap cards.
Oh, well, there you go then.
So, like, that could have been a really important option that you didn't even think about, but now you're fucked because they have an Omega that you just can't get over.
Right.
And you have, like, a Zen Mains or some shit.
And when selecting your extra deck, like, me, I run, a 15-card extra deck, like we told you guys before, which is simple. I run 8 Xyz monsters and 7 Synchro monsters.
Yeah.
Like, I split it half and half. Most decks, you might not want to do that. Like, say you're running Noble Knights, you don't have any tuners in that deck.
Yeah, like, that's not...
Like, unless you run Valor, which is no problem, because Valor's the only tuner I have, and I run, I main deck 2 Effect Valors, and I have 7 Synchro monsters, because of the fact that if I have Valor on the field, I have options to go into. Yeah. So, it's like I said, if you guys think, like, oh, I only need these couple cards, so I only have, like, an 8-card extra deck, put in 7 more cards, because why not?
Yeah, like
you might find cards like, oh, a good thing I have this.
Like, a really good card this format is, like, Mind Control, because so many people are using tuners. You could just fucking use Mind Control, steal their diva that they left on the field for God knows what reason, and then synchro with your monster. Yeah, say diva got Valor, so like, fuck, I can't do anything with it. I'll just sit it there. Then next turn you can Mind Control it with your fucking Noble Knight Withdraw it, sync for a 6, make like Gaia just to get a bigger monster out. Mm-hmm. Like, and then they don't have a monster to use next turn. They're down a card now.
Yep. So, it's like I said, you guys definitely want a 15-card extra deck. You guys also want a play test, which is also huge. Like, on Dueling Network, when you create a deck, say on Dueling Network, and then you go in, the deck's not going to be perfect right away. If you're trying your own original build, you got to work with it. You got to be like, alright, this card's a dead draw, like we said before. So I'm probably not going to want to run 3 of
this card that I can't use over it. Alright.
So I might want to narrow that down to 1 or 2.
And now we're going to get to like side decks, like
we're gonna go
Chris's favorite card, fucking Eradicator.
Fuck.
I mean, like, side decks are pretty much whatever you think you have the hardest time against. Like, fucking when Prophecy had fucking Judgment, you needed to run this because you needed a way to stop them from drawing other goddamn bullshit broken cards. Yeah. Like, for instance, I fucking hate Dark Worlds. Like, that's probably my least favorite matchup. So, I run Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, because this negates the effects of all face-up dark monsters, and also in the graveyard, so they can't get any of their effects, and they just kind of cry. And then, like, when I run Marmails, I fucking hate when people use Macrocosmos, so I run Imperial Iron Wall, so they can't remove my shit from play. I mean, it hurts when you have Title, but then, fuck it, you could just win with Megalo and shit. Like Bujins, I don't really like Bujins right now, so I'm using Light Imprisoning Mirror, so I negate them. Which is the same thing as Shadow.
Yeah,
you just negate Knights. And then, like, Mind Crush is just kind of a good card for
a lot of people are main decking Mind Crush right now, actually.
So Mind Crush is just pretty fucking good. Like, every time they search a card to their hand, you can just call that card that they just searched and then discard it in any other copies they have in their hand to the graveyard. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good against, like, Fire Fist because they,
search for
they
spirit.
have to search for like rooster after you spear it, and so you can just do that. And say like they already had a rooster, but they had to search for another one. You can just get rid of both of them, and they don't really have any recovery after that. And the same with bear. Like they always search for bear before the new 3Xs and 5Xs came out. So. And then, like, I run Trap Stun just because I can OTK, pretty often with mermails, and I don't really I like Royal Decree, but I don't want it to affect me, so I just run Trap Stun so I can OTK them, and if they try and chain anything, I just stop them from being able to use them.
And also, we should probably explain the side deck is when you're in a best 2 out of 3 match.
Yeah, you don't side deck before like game 1. You only side deck after game 1 and after game 2.
Right. So you're like, oh, he's running Dark Worlds. I should just side in my Shadow Imprisoning Mirror now. So say you have 3. Say you have Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, 3 of them in your side deck. You take 2 or 3 of your cards out of your main deck and replace them with the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. And your side deck has to be 15 cards exact. No more or no less.
Yeah.
It has to be 15. So if you are like, oh, I'm running out of room.
Figure it out.
Just side in fucking a 3rd MST.
Yeah, or fucking like Spirit Reaper just so they can't get over it. Like say they're running a deck that just attacks a lot. You're just like, I'm gonna set a Spirit Reaper and they can't kill it.
Yeah, it might not be.
Battle.
It might not be the best side deck choice, but it's still something.
At least you have the option, and maybe it'll come in handy. You never know.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, okay, well I found better side deck cards, but it's like I said, you have to have 15. It's a rule.
Yep.
So you have to.
Yep, I think that's pretty much it for that. Like pretty much you just side deck whatever you think you're gonna have your hardest matchup against, and then plan accordingly. You don't want to side deck like too many cards, or because then you're gonna draw all the cards in the fucking world, and you don't need all of them, because then you're gonna mess up your engine, your consistency.
Right.
So it's tough. It's kind of something you gotta figure out your own. Side decks are everybody's like personal, options to what they think they need to use. Yeah, but I think that's it for this segment again. So
as always, follow us on Twitter, PM us, or leave a comment if you have any type of questions. We'll always answer, or try our best anyway. We normally always answer.
Yeah,
but
we try. Unless it's like some stupid ass fucking comment and you're just being a piece of shit, then I'm not gonna answer it. I'm probably just gonna delete it because I don't like it. So I mean, don't be.
Or we'll be a smart ass bet.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of comics on like the Dueling Network videos where they'll be like, "Oh, you should have done this," and then it's like, "I couldn't, dumbass."
Yeah, like, do you even read the fucking cards that I'm using? I mean, there's a lot of people.
I know how to use my deck, except when I forget to play Magician Circle.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I think that's it.
Yep, I think so too. Cool. All right. Well, we'll see you guys later.
Check out our trade binder videos if you're interested in making your own deck. Yep. We probably have a lot of stuff that you want.
Yeah,
you just saw a whole expensive shitload of shit right there on the playmat.
Yeah. So if you need specific cards, you can just message us and be like, "Yo, do you have this? I didn't see it in your binder." We might have it lying around somewhere. Like not all our cards are in our binders.
Right.
Like I have 7 fucking. He's got a whole box right here. I got 4 deck boxes over here. There's 3 tins right there. There's another deck box. There's 4 tins over here. Honestly, that's just straight up what's in here.
There's 6 tins in there.
Well, there's 6, I guess. But whatever. Anyways, we have a lot of cards that we can just, and we don't value our shit really high. I like getting new players involved in the game. Like
Madrat is probably a $25 card right now. We'll value it at $15, $20.
Yeah, it's not even I give away cards all the time. I'm helped Chris make his prophecy deck. I helped Kevin, another teammate, make his deck. We don't care. I mean, I don't really personally care.
Whenever we pull something that another person needs, out of my title tin, I pulled an ultimate Lind, and Sean needed a 3rd Lind, so I just gave it to him. So.
Yep, and Kyle, he's one of our coworkers that we work with. He's not really in the team, and he just started getting into Yu-Gi-Oh, and I gave him a bunch of cards and just a huge deal on him, just because it's cool seeing new guys get involved in Yu-Gi-Oh and want to play. So, I mean, maybe you guys want some cards.
The more famous we get, maybe YCS will actually be able to get streamed and shit, so we can watch it.
Right, yeah. Exactly. The more plays we get, maybe the more,
Konami will actually give a fuck.
Maybe, I don't know, announce their tournaments on time. That'd be cool. So, stuff like that, But, alright, I think we're done. We're rambling again. Fucking 20-minute video again is ridiculous.
Sorry.
This one was supposed to be 7 minutes, and it just didn't happen. Alright. So, follow us on all that jazz. Subscribe, like our video. Tell us what you think we need to improve on, and, what you guys want to see for videos next. And we'll catch you later. See ya.
Peace.